Alright, good morning traders. Hey, this is Big Al and this is how I trade. It is 8:03 and it's Monday what day is today? Monday the 13th. That's what I thought. So I'm going to show you how I build a setup for the week. And I probably have done this before, but I don't know if I've done it with this much detail as yet. So let's see what happens. I'm using this new called Cam Studio program, so it seems to be a better program, but I'm still learning how to use it, so bear with me again. So alright, so let's first take the June excuse me, take the June E-mini Dow, and we are actually going to be, we should be in rollover week. I don't think, yeah, we should be in rollover week. If not, we'll buy next week. You can tell how sharp I am this morning. So, alright, so hold on a second. First of all, I'm going to go over here, and normally I trade at 512 tick bars. But I'm going to click on that. I'm going to bring this down to 30-minute bars. And then I'm going to come up over here and go to a 15-day 30-minute bar. And then I'm going to narrow all this down so I can look at the last 15 days. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and there's my cutoff right there. So the last 10 days. Now I'm going to, I'm literally just going to delete all drawings. So everything that's on here is now gone. And I'm going to grab the price pointer, the level, and I'm going to come up here and make my first click. I'm going to edit. I'm going to make that a red bar because it represents the high of the last 10 days and possibly a resistance. And then I'm going to come down here and click, and I'm going to make that a thick green bar to represent support. As we can already see when I'm already looking at this, is that the market is already trading off the lows of the 10-day period, and the 10-day period low has just been going down and down and down and down. So I'm now going to take from here, and we'll just lighten that up a little bit, tighten it up, make a bigger, tighter frame. Now I'm going to go back to where are you? Yes, I'm going back to, let me do it again, sorry. I'm going to take a 5-day and go back to my 512 tick bar. And this, this represents Friday here. So I'm going to come back and find the high of Friday. And I'm going to click. I'm going to make that a thinner red bar. I'll make that a red bar, but I'm going to make that thinner. And I actually don't need to do I could actually do the low, but the low was actually reached on Friday. So, and the low was actually 11,922, which is significant because now we are under 12,000 in the Dow. So I've got this, and now the next thing I'm going to do is come over and do the same thing, except I'm going to create a thin bar, a thin gray bar, and that thin gray bar is going to represent the overnight high and low, and I make them both the same color. It's just a preference. It keeps it. I don't have, look at too many different color bars and try to remember what's what. Remember, I have a very, very simple way of trading. And then once I'm here, I've got this set up. This gives me everything that I need for the E-mini Dow. Now I'm going to go to, let's see, and let's come back down. I want to do the exact same thing for, and I apologize, I should have set this up ahead of time, but I did not. So here, let's just take a look. See again. I'm going to come back in here, hit the 30-minute bar, and this is on the ES. And I'm going to come back and drop this down there. I got 10 days, which is this day right here. I could come in here and make this really simple. Some of the things I generally do is I can actually move these by hand, and it makes it real simple. So I've already got the high there, and then I'll create the low. So now I'm just going to come in here and expand, get in here to be able to look closer and actually have the low. I can actually set that up. I can take this high for Friday's high and place it here. Then I can take this overnight low, place it there, and I can take this overnight high, this is from Friday morning, place it right here. Boom. So now I've got my setup. I have the way up here is the actual high for the 10-day period. This big thick green bar is the low for the 10-day. This other little bar here is actually the low that was on Friday, and then this was the high that was on Friday. And if we look, we see this little area, and when you ever see me use these little shaded, these dotted lines, I'm trying to determine areas of either resistance or support. And in this particular case, and I'm going to color code them, and I'm going to color code them red for resistance, and I'm going to of course color code them green. So when we look on the overnight session, this was Thursday, the market came down in the overnight session, it bumped off this little area here, came back down again, and then when it opened, it just closed from the high. It just went straight down and came through. So we see that we have a little area in here, but here's this bottom that turned around in here that acted as support briefly and then came down. So I'm drawing a line here, and the dotted line is giving me an idea of daily support. And I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate that bar and bring that bar back down to here and see. Now I don't really know if this is going to end up support, but what we had Friday when the market got here really low, it found support in here, and then it all sold off again and then came through. This was obviously when I was picking a change of trend. It was a very momentary thing. It was a very, very short pullback and very, very weak, and I don't know if I can actually count on this as actually being a decent signal or not for an area of support, but we're going to draw it up there until we have something that's better, and we'll just wait till whatever the market gives us here. So right now I have this range right up here at 1283 roughly and 1270. So there's about a 13-point range that if we get up in this area, we should start seeing resistance, and if we're down in here. But as long as we're trading here towards the low, we always have a little idea that we might get a pullback. The other area to look at here is also, and I'm going to duplicate this here, and I'm going to bring this right down to here, is this area here. I'm going to be real curious to see what happens on the ES this morning as the market comes up and starts trading back up in here. I also need to, and I forgot to do this on the Dow, is actually I want to create a area for the overnight open. The overnight open is important because that basically draws another line in the sand to see where they want. Later, since this is Monday when this is happening, technically it's going to be here, is I am going to change this to a red or green bar depending on whether I think it's support or resistance. So if the market goes higher from here, this will be the weekly open bar. Happens up in the overnight session, then I'm going to have the same thing on the weekly daily session, and if they're fairly close, then I'll get rid of both, one of them. But I want a bar that represents the open for the week, and I want to extend that through the entire week so I can see how the market is trading either to or from or away from that bar. All right, well, that takes care of the Dow and the E-mini S&P 500, and I'm going to go ahead and set up the rest of them. I'll post this and come back again. Remember, this is Big Al, and this is how I trade, and I thank you very much.